Hello everybody, welcome to the Political Vigilante. You know what we're going to do today? Oh snap, we're going to look at a new look at it moves. We're going to make Gotham great again. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you Bat Mashups for submitting this new fancy motion graphic. I got to figure out a way to get it slid more over there in Keynote so I have more space here, but you know, baby steps. Baby steps. This article was submitted by Patreon supporter Crafty Geek. YouTube chief says Article 13 undermines creative economy. So this is a battle that's going on in Europe, and it's sort of it's a net neutrality issue there. It's what their net neutrality is. So what is going on is, well, we'll just get into the story because critics say the proposed legislation would see platforms such as YouTube compelled to introduce strict upload filters to prevent unlicensed content being offered to the public. These systems, they say, would stifle creativity and lack the ability to differentiate in situations for fair use. Now, this is a little, it seems to me to be a little more gray area than just what Ajit Pai and them were trying to do, was just get rid of net neutrality so that they can do whatever they want. This is, they want to put in upload filters. And their main reasoning for this is like YouTube content creators that use music. And the music owners are saying, well, these people shouldn't be able to use our music without paying a license fee, right? But what happens, but I don't understand this, because if I try to put up anything that I don't have a license for, YouTube says you immediately can't make money off of this. You can't. Like when I posted the clip from the FNX show, my stand-up comedy clip that I directed, I'm a part owner of that show, but I am not FNX. So YouTube said none of those videos can make money. So they have all these filters in place. But what's been really what's really curious is, and I'll go into the article, goes into it, YouTube kind of gets quiet on this, and then I'm not quite sure. I don't trust YouTube or any of the big companies, because obviously they want to have control over what people say. But then, so YouTube isn't quite sure where they stand on this, which I think shows you that they're like, well, gee, can we manipulate this to our advantage or not? The debate has raged for months, years even, with the music industry on the one side and tech companies and proponents of internet freedom on the other. However, YouTube and its owners Google have remained relatively quiet. Oh, that's weird. That's when you know they're not quite sure, and they're sitting there going, what's the best way to shove this around to get it to our advantage? A little unusual, given that they're the prime targets for the legislation. The open internet eliminated the barriers of traditional media gatekeepers and ignited a new global creative economy for creators and artists, except for independent media. Then we're going to shut you up. It has given anyone with the idea the ability to share in the world, blah, 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 says the guy from the thing. YouTube's chief business officer reiterates once again that his platform has invested in several technologies designed to assist copyright owners. Its Content ID and more recent content match systems. This is where it's getting tricky, man. Because if we go back here, right? Here it is. Tech companies and proponents of internet freedom are together. Now maybe they're just not as worried about any sort of progressive truth message coming out to Americans. That's why YouTube just pulled all these Syrian YouTube channels, these Syrian YouTubers that are like on the ground with cameras showing what's actually going on. The white helmets are not the good guys and all this other stuff. They got pulled. So it might be like YouTube has a policy with Americans. We don't want Americans to know anything. But we're going to take the side of artists in Europe or something. I don't know. It's very confusing. YouTube's chief business officer, like I said, reiterates once again that his platform has invested in several technologies designed to assist copyright owners, which is what I've talked about, what they do if you try to do this, which is why I don't know that we need more of this. That's what makes me leery. They already have systems in place where you can't profit off of using that. I guess the music people are like, well, if you're going to use our music, we need to get paid no matter what, which I understand. If someone was using clips of my stand-up comedy and not paying me, I wouldn't like that. I understand where the music industry is coming from, and they've lost so much money from people pirating music and stuff like that. iTunes and the iPhone have helped that business come back a little bit. But copyright holders have control over their content. They can use our tools to block or remove their works, or they can keep them on YouTube and earn advertising revenue. In over 90% of the cases, they choose to leave the content up, he writes. Okay. I mean, we had somebody try to put up earbuds on a YouTube channel, and we told YouTube they got to pull this down, and it was. Individuals, organizations like European Digital Rights and the Internet Archive, companies like Patreon, WordPress, and Medium, the Internet's original architects and pioneers like Sir Tim Berners-Lee and the UN Special Reporter for Free Expression have spoken out. Creators across the Internet are standing up for their right to create and express themselves, including Phil DeFranco, LaFoyd. Yeah. So what this tells me ultimately is that they're using what I can discern from this, they're using the music industry's concerns, legitimate concerns, to then take away internet freedom. Right? See, that's what they're doing. So that's when I go, nope. And if they have these other things in place, then you should just use those as a content creator, as a musician. You have the right to do that and to work out a deal with people. I think it just seems like, while I typically side with an artist wanting to get paid, I don't like having to work for free. I gotta side more with the ability of freedom of speech and not, you know, threatening the internet. Because I'm on both sides of this, in the sense that now YouTube is throttling me here. They're demonetizing videos that they find offensive, like a US journalist getting murdered because she uncovered stuff about ISIS, about America, like letting ISIS go through our base in Turkey. That Serena Shim story that I did, that's been completely demonetized. I appealed it. They came back and said, after further review, not suitable for viewers. And it's one of my biggest views in the last couple of weeks. It's gotten over 3,000 views. Not making a penny from it. So ultimately, I'm going to side with internet freedom. That's where I would have to side on this. So I thank you, Crafty Geek, for submitting this, and that's what you get to do if you go to patreon.com/GrahamElwood. There's a lot of ways to support the show. Since they're taking my money away elsewhere, you can help me out on patreon.com. Thank you for watching and making Gotham great again.